Okay, let's dive right into this one. We're exploring a really epic fantasy from Tanya Ferris's collection, Memories of Sandra Anderson. And let me tell you, this is a story about cosmic weapons, some seriously desperate magic, and the kind of impossible choices that can literally decide the fate of an entire universe.
Right from the jump, this story launches us into a journey on an unbelievable scale. We're following our hero, Sandra Anderson, as she travels through the very fabric of reality itself. We are going way, way beyond our world, into these incredible dreamlands, and as we're about to find out, some pretty terrifying nightmares too.
So our story gets started on this planet, Ristadel, that at first glance seems kinda primitive. But you just know that behind all that rural beauty, something sinister is taking root. A dark, sophisticated plot fueled by some really unchecked ambition.
Sandra Anderson shows up to look into this string of really bizarre deaths. People are basically just bursting into flames. The locals are terrified, and they're blaming it all on a new god they're worshipping, the Archangel Asar. But Sandra, she senses something else at play here, something way more tangible and way more evil.
As things start to heat up, no pun intended, we see this terrifying pattern emerge. These so-called spontaneous combustions are actually making the religious cult around this archangel even stronger. Then, Sandra makes a huge discovery. Asar isn't a god's name, it's the ancestral name of the villainous Hyrcanian royal family. She gets confronted by the arrogant Prince Xavier, but pulls off a daring escape with her ally Peter of the Stars. And that leads them to the final, chilling reveal on this timeline. The Archangel is actually a gigantic statue, a high-tech weapon testing a horrifying new power on people who have no idea what's happening.
So after they manage to destroy the statue, the Hyrcanian princes finally show their cards. That whole thing, the statue, it was just a test run. What they really have is what they're calling the ultimate weapon, and their goal is not just one little planet, it's total, complete domination over the entire universe.
Okay, so the immediate threat on Ristadel is gone, but the real danger? It's just getting started. Sandra and Peter now have this impossible task. They have to find the source of this ultimate weapon before the Hyrcanians figure out how to fully control it.
Peter reveals their destination, and it's basically a myth, a world so dangerous that most advanced civilizations just pretend it doesn't even exist. The Forsaken Lands. It's an abandoned, shattered planet that just happens to hold a power source of unimaginable scale. And, getting there is not your average road trip. To reach this lost world, they have to literally fly their ship into a black hole and cross the threshold of known space. The story describes it as being like a birth, this violent, disorienting journey into a totally new reality.
So, what do they find when they finally arrive? Well, it's this eerie, alien world. Imagine colossal, ancient ruins everywhere, all bathed in the glow of a giant orange moon. It's the kind of place that's beautiful, but also makes the hair on your arms stand up.
They find the Hyrcanian base, but it's not sitting on the surface. No, it's hidden deep inside the planet's core. And the only way down is this massive, spiral staircase that just plunges into a darkness so thick it feels like you could touch it.
They start their descent, stepping down into this primeval blackness.
Down and down they go. They completely lose all sense of time, of direction. The journey starts to feel less like walking,
and more like just falling through an empty void. And then the stairs just vanish. It's a terrifying free fall through absolute darkness that ends in a flash of blinding light, dropping them right into the heart of the enemy's operation.
So they're trapped in this huge chamber, and they finally see it. The ultimate weapon? It's not a machine, it's a process. The Hyrcanians are using their crazy advanced tech to basically weaponize a fundamental cosmic entity, this Netrine core, and turn it into a source of infinite power. They're so focused on the fact that they can do it, they never once stop to think if they should.
Sandra gets it immediately. She sees the full horror of what's happening. The Hyrcanians are being so reckless that their experiment isn't just creating a weapon, it's destabilizing reality itself. If they pull this off, their entire universe could just collapse and get sucked into this thing.
This is the moment of absolute desperation. There's no conventional way to stop this. Sandra realizes she has to fight fire with fire, or, in this case, fight cosmic fire with something even more unpredictable and dangerous.
Her plan is basically a three-step Hail Mary. First, she grabs a stolen laser sword and carves a protective magic circle into the floor. Second, she and Peter jump inside the seal.
Then she falls into a trance and starts chanting this long-forgotten, extremely dangerous spell, getting ready to call on things that really should be left alone.
She starts speaking these words from a dead language. And this isn't just some chant. It's a direct, desperate call to these powerful and maybe insane entities that exist completely outside of normal time and space.
And the spell works, but wow. It works in the most terrifying way you can imagine. A door rips open in the ceiling, tearing through reality, and this gigantic skeletal paw reaches through. It just grabs the entire weaponized core and vanishes, dragging the whole threat back to whatever insane dimension it came from.
You'd think that's it, right? Universe saved, roll the credits. But here's the thing. Even after you stop the universe from imploding, your day might not be over. The cosmic threat is gone, but the guys who started it all, they're still here, and they are very, very angry.
They get back to the surface and bam, they're ambushed by the furious Princes Vaynar and Xavier. A crazy battle kicks off with laser swords and astral blasts flying all over the place among these silent alien towers. It all ends with Sandra cornering the throned Prince Vaynar right at the edge of a high cliff, his life literally in her hands.
And in this one moment, Sandra faces a massive choice. She can let Vanor fall, but then his younger brother, Xavier, who is way more sadistic, inherits the throne. That could be a much bigger problem. Or she can save Vanor and use the throne prince as a valuable hostage. So, what do?
She makes the cold, tactical call. She saves her enemy. They manage to get away, but not before Xavier gets in one last, vicious attack that wounds Peter. It leaves the victory feeling incredibly fragile. Nothing feels truly resolved.
So we're left with this final, really provocative question. Sandra won the day, no doubt. She saved the universe with this incredible act of power. But was her final act of mercy a brilliant strategic play to control an evil she knew? Or was it a fatal mistake that's going to come back to haunt the entire galaxy?